Welcome to the Boise State Game Pants Esports Arena. You're going to be joining us this Wednesday for the Esports Tower Rocket League Rumble. I'm your host, Jacob Jem Palmer, joined by Artie Nerdy Rain. We are back starting a brand new series of tournaments here as we go into the first week. We're back at group stages. Those will be determining the seeding overall for the bracket stages. And Nerdy, we're starting to see improvements in the players and teams have made since the start of the fall. Teams like the Vipers, the Lions, they've been open about working on improving together, and we're starting to see the fruit of that labor. For sure, and like Fish and I discussed this last week, there's this poor team, the Eagles, that keep getting roped into what I believe Fish called as our Tower of Death. We'll call them our Tower of Doom squad, which is kind of like that Group A squad. They have been struggling and fighting and clawing their way up to get as best as become the best players that they possibly can. And going against the harder teams, so to speak, in these brackets definitely has been pushing their limits a little bit from what we've noticed, and it's definitely been allowing them to improve a lot. So I'm excited to see how much they've improved from last week, as well as all the other teams, including teams like the Mammoths, who have just become above and beyond what we saw earlier this summer when they first started out. Well, let's take a look at tonight's competitors and see how the overall event will work out. Again, this is the Esports Tower Rocket League Rumble. You can see the teams here. We're going to have the Mammoths, the Vipers, the Lions, the Blue Gators, and the Red Gators. Just a quick note on the Vipers. We have received word that we are going to see a few different players from their practice this week, so you'll see a few different players rotate in and out. Also, the Vipers and the Red and Blue Gators have just been kind of one of those teams that have really been practicing and working on improving their skills. Both have a unique opportunity to show off what all their players have learned from the training and coaching staff. So, as we get ready to jump in, we want to remind our viewers to support your team, celebrate your wins, but also be respectful to other fans. Mods will remove anyone who violates the chat rules. And as always, before every single game, let's get into Doc's keys to the game to show these players what they can do if they want to do the best at Rocket League, and that's to create mistakes for the other team, punish the overcommit, don't overstay, and bump and demo to disrupt. Those are Doc's keys to the game. Brought to you by Esports Tower. You can improve your game sense, improve your team play, and improve your performance under pressure. You'll get matched with great players and professional coaches to help you rank up. Let's get into our first highlight match of the night with the Esports Tower Lions taking on the Mammoths in a round 2 matchup. The Mammoths started the night off with a big win versus the Vipers and are looking to continue that run here. The Lions have been a team that has been working really hard to improve, and they have really come into their own over the last few rumbles. This game will be a close one. Let's get right into it. We have Plee make a great pass there to I believe that might have been Drift in the middle. Unfortunately, they did lose possession. The ball has shifted over towards their side of the field with a great save, sending it over into the corner. A follow-up shot on goal will hit that top crossbar. It seems to be no one's friend ever here in Esports Tower. Now the Lions are trying to move forward, but the ball is already redirected towards the mid. Thrift elevates, dropping the ball down, preventing it from going past that midfield mark, following up their own grab on that ball. Now, unfortunately, it has been taken away with a little bit of help from Driftmaster. It stays on the side of Orange, now finally crossing that midfield stripe. Now the Mammoths are looking as Carl now over to Crayon, carries it up the field. Is going to be looking for the center. We see a demo in towards the Mammoth side of the field. Now they have fully respawned. Carl goes in again. We see Jababy, though. Great shot on goal is just going to be pushed off to the side by Carl. And the Mammoths right now are struggling a little. They had a strong game one with limited practice, but they have a bigger challenge here against a well-practiced Lions team. Thrift and Jababy, we've seen them in other games pop off before, especially Jababy and Thrift, both being able to just be their own follow-up and shots on goal from rebounds. So they're two fantastic, well-rounded players. They do have a new teammate in the form of Plee, so we'll have to see how well the team dynamic works with all three of them, as two of them double commit in the goal, but two of the Mammoth members were there as well. Now we're looking at about 3.5 minutes left in this match. No team yet to score. We do have Young hit the ball high up onto the wall. There was a shot on goal by one of the Lions players. Unfortunately, it does not find anybody for the follow-up. Young does manage to pop it up over one of the Lions and still maintaining possession, trying to hit it off the back wall to center it up for one of their teammates. They do have Jababy on them, though, so it's going to make it a little difficult. Plee comes in, spikes the ball high above the net there, and unfortunately the follow-up was a little late from Jababy, so they do lose their second attempt to shoot at the goal. Now it looks like Crayon tried to drive it up the field. It's going to be pushed over to the other side where Carl's going to meet it. Centers it up for a shot, but it's just high and to the left. Now Jababy's going to use that to get a nice clear just to the right of the goal. Follow-up can't be found from the Lions. They're going to stop that clear from going forward. It's centered once again. Runs right into Carl, it looks like, and demos him. And look at Jababy there. Spots the opening once Carl is gone and scores it for the Lions.
Completely open net. That is a demolition to create opportunity without losing positioning. Nicely done there from the Lions. As you see Jababy collide at that kickoff. Unfortunately for the Lions, they did not get the advantage. And with that kickoff from the Mammoths, they managed to find a goal very quickly.
Now the kickoff just right in the center. Thrift is going to get the better off of that follow-up. We see Plee pushing it just a little bit toward the goal here. Yun is going to try to meet him on the wall. Center it over for Crayon, who doesn't get the best tap on it. It's leaving it wide open for Jababy. Driving it through right toward the goal. It's a bit high right now. It looks like we saw one of the Lions try to get there to waterfall it down, but met some interference from the Mammoths. Now they're going to try again. Plee, just a nice kind of double tap in mid-air. Plee has shown a lot of improvements from the Lions. He's greatly improved his positioning, and his comms have improved in the past 2 weeks. We'll see if that improvement can help the Lions get an overall win here.
We do have Thrift and Jababy both on this ball here. Thrift does decide to fall off, so the communication did come through, so there wasn't a double commit. As we see, I believe that was Funky, spiked the ball down onto the ground, trying to dribble it around Plee off the wall. They managed to do that, but they do lose their dribble right in front of the goal. Carl will elevate, trying to get a shot, but Jababy comes into the air to knock the ball away from them as Thrift takes out one of the Mammoth members there in the corner.
And here goes Jababy there, actually. Ball's going to be left in the Lions. Jababy wasn't able to get the clear they were looking for. Now is going to get one, drive it around the corner. It's going to go high right in front of the Mammoths goal. Unfortunately, a double commit from them. Jababy stops that midfield. Once again, side control with the Lions. They're going to have less than a minute to try to score here.
We do see another demolition come out on the goal line.
Nice.
Jababy to just tap the ball right in. That's exactly how the Lions scored their last goal. However, there was just a follow-up response goal coming from the Mammoths off the kickoff. Thankfully for the Lions, this time they managed to win it, but they do lose. I believe that was Thrift there. A follow-up tap from Plee will allow it to cross over that midfield stripe, and they prevent it from coming back over with the follow-up pass back from one of the Lions members. Carl tries to corral the ball down. They do unfortunately lose it, but Young, spiking it off their hood, will bring it high into the air as one of the Lions members tries to grab it. Unfortunately, they do miss it, but Thrift is there to help them out.
Oh, and what a nice little tap there. Quite the redirect. That's going to drive the Lions to 3-1. That insurance goal with just 22 seconds left is really good for them. Now they can kind of breathe a little easier. They don't want to try anything being scored off this kickoff, and with a nice tap by Plee there, I think they're going to run out enough of the timer to get the win here. All it has to do is hit the ground once it hits 0, and we will be done with this first round. That looks like the Lions getting the victory there. Great job to them overall. We're going to jump into the next match. This is going to be the Vipers versus the Red Gators highlight. And we are going to get into it very fast. But do you have any final thoughts on that first match we saw, Nerdy?
Honestly, it was really nice to see a new member kind of rotated into the Lions roster there. Plee did a nice job melding in with both Thrift and Jababy. They popped off as a team. The Mammoths did a great job as well. They just needed to be a little bit more aggressive. I know that's kind of vague, but they did not try to utilize one of Doc's keys, and that's, the boop, and just push people out of the way to disrupt, get in the passing lanes. They need to be more on top of that and trying to just be a distraction on the field instead of trying to maintain ball possession or side possession as much as they did.
Well, let's get into another highlight match of the night with the Vipers facing off against the Red Gators. The Red Gators have not played a lot in the fall rumbles, but have been practicing hard as a team. Vipers dropped their first game of the night and need to bounce back here if they want to be there the top of this group. We're going to see how that works out for them. Ava there driving it just toward the goal. It's going to be Z Hydra there, unable to get the tap they wanted. It just kind of looks like all the players right now are just playing a little bit passively just to try to kind of get the correct feel of it, I suppose.
Playing a little passive can be okay. You just have to make sure your defense is well-rounded. As we see Hoagie Bear send the ball over to the side to center it up for one of their teammates. Unfortunately, they don't have the follow-up, so HDR is forced to try and elevate here in the goal. They do take out one of the Vipers members, though, so that while there's a double commit happening, it's okay. Now the Gators managing to bring the ball across that midfield. Ava and Zypher are both on... Well, both here in the corner trying to get possession of this ball. Oh, wait, they've rule one'd each other?
Oh, yep.
Oh, no, you just, what? Oh,
I don't know. I don't know if there was a rule one or if they just had an agreement.
It looked like it was two teammates, honestly.
Yeah. I think that's, I think between the two teammates, well, if it's two teammates, you can get agreement between the two to say, okay, we're not going to do this, So they understood that they needed to get back to defending, and unfortunately that defending is going to be looking just a little bit shaky with a double commit there. But now it looks like they have it back with Z Hydra. Great shot on goal. They're going to be putting the Vipers to an early lead.
Did take just 90 seconds to score that first goal. We do go into a kickoff and see immediate demolition come out. The Vipers are on the defensive right now. The ball is kind of left dead in the air. No one gets a clean touch on it. Gators trying to take advantage of that. However, there's only one pushed up. The rest had rotated back to grab boost, so there was no follow-up. They did lose their opportunity to get a shot on goal. The ball is now in front of the Red Gators goal. The Vipers retreating and get possession of it with a pass back to Zypher there. Will result in it being back in front of the Gators goal, but unfortunately no one's there for the follow-up.
There goes a follow-up though from the Gators, and they're finally going to get it there. Looks like Sen was the one to score it for them. And the interesting thing is that for the Red Gators, Hodge and Tikaz have played together for a while, but Sen is actually filling in for the team during the Rumble, and certainly did a great job there. But now one of the regulars, it's actually going to be Taco Bell there, who's going to get the goal.
We see HDR managed to get a nice touch on the ball. They're trying to center it up for one of their teammates off the sidewall. Not a whole lot of speed off of it, but they do manage to get it across that midfield area. Zypher, though, will get in the passing lane, snagging the ball with just enough of a touch on it for it to find the net.
So now all of a sudden we're kind of seeing an avalanche of goals, if you will. And Climb One there is trying to look for the opportunity. He's going to push it to where Hodge is waiting, going to stop that right there. Now going to pass it back over to where Sen is. Actually, the Vipers are just going to say, okay, thank you for pushing that toward the goal for us. We're just going to take control of that right now.
Climb One does try to boop into one of the Gators members, but with help from Ava, they managed to maintain possession of the ball here. Now Ava's going for the charge to push away the Gators members as Climb One drops the ball down. It does spike off of one of the Gators' hoods, and the Vipers managed to stop it from crossing the midfield.
Ooh, the Vipers still trying to look for a goal here. This has been one of the things that they have been most trying to improve, is one-on-one skills and trying to better punish the opposing team. We'll see how well they do there. Well, they start out with a great demo onto the Red Gators, kind of going to be stopping their offense here. Red Gators are going to respawn now, try again. Hodge looking to center it over to Taco, who finds it. And that's going to put the Red Gators into the victory, even though they have not competed in this many Rumbles, but they've been really dedicated in their practice.
Climb One gets a nice touch off that kickoff. Unfortunately, the follow-up was a little slow there from Ava, so they will lose their first opportunity for a follow-up shot there. Now there's Climb One's trying to get a nice little nudge into the goal. They do lose it out as two members of the Gators commit onto the ball to get it away from them. Climb One comes in to help out. All three members of the Gators now pushing forward as the ball crosses that midfield stripe.
Oh, look out here for Sen. He's going to try to corral it and center it up. It's 1, 2, I think 3 taps there in midair, but unable to waterfall it down into the goal. Now it's going to be left up to Climb One here. Gets played over, left to Z Hydra, who's going to be trying to contest with Hodge. Nice play there off the wall to the goal. What a shot.
The drive-by just, that's either going to go in or you'll get the rebound. There's no one ready for the follow-up. Just player moment there was great. It was very picturesque.
Here we go with the next play. It's going to start out with a demo, and Taco respawning off of that demo. Vipers have some side control here, so if they can stop a clear, Ava's going to try to do it. It's left up to Z Hydra. Pass back over to Ava. left high and just in front of the Vipers' goal. It heads back over to midfield. Two members, it looked like, of the Red Gators committing there, and that could cost them there as it left it wide open for the Vipers to score.
That might have been a slight own goal, and Jim, I think you're right. That double commit was unfortunate. They didn't have someone ready to be rotating back fast enough to prevent that from happening. We do have 8 seconds left on the clock. While it's 1-goal lead right now for the Vipers, they just need to make sure they don't do any funny business as Climb 1 steals the ball away there from Hoagie, and Taco Bell, unfortunately, looking like they're having some connection issues as the clock strikes 0.
Well, that was the Vipers winning that matchup against the Red Gators. That's just got to be kind of a really tough loss, especially when you see it with a play that just was a mistake that you made there that led to the goal.
Well, VOD review will help prevent those mistakes from happening. Perhaps a minor light grilling from your coach will also help, because you'll always hear their voice in the back of your head every time you want to do a double commit situation. And just working on your comms overall will also help prevent those in the future.
Well, let's get into our first premier match of the night. It's going to be the Mammoths facing off against the Vipers in a best-of-3 series. The Mammoths roster is brand new and has only been together for a few days, but the coaches say these players are strong. Meanwhile, the Vipers improving a lot as a team. We've already seen them play against the Red Gators. Both these teams could win this series, so let's hop into game 1 and see who will take home the first win of the night.
Right now, the Vipers trying to maintain ball possession here. It's very fast-paced in comparison to the last game, so they might struggle just a little bit. So we see one of them get taken out. There's a shot on goal already by one of the Mammoths, saved by Ava. Now we've got the turnaround trying to happen, but the Mammoths already coming in, stealing the ball away not once, but twice. All 3 members of the Vipers are kind of bunched up there towards their own goal. Young is maintaining back by their goal to make sure it's not left open, which is great, as we see Hawker pop the ball high, but then one of the Mammoths players comes flying in to spike the ball away from them against that wall.
Now it's going to be left up in mid-air, and Carl's going to get the better of that contest. Demo in midfield, but right now Vipers just looking to get this clear, stealing away by the Mammoths. Now gets head back over towards the Mammoths goal. Ava's going to try to look for the centering here. Unable to find it. Z-Hydra doesn't have enough to elevate up to get the ball. So it looks like the Mammoths are going to maintain control for now. Now off they go around the corner again. Z-Hydra trying to stop it, but it's going to be just a little bit too late. Just looking a bit too slow against the Mammoths. The interesting thing is, look at the roster of the Mammoths. It's brand new. Crayon is joining Carl and Jorge, who have only been together for about a week and don't have much time playing together. They've only had one practice night together, and the coaches have had them focus on scrims and VOD reviews together. Meanwhile, the Vipers want to say, hey, we're still an established team too. We want to get a quick equalizer, and they managed to do that.
Well, we've seen teams come into this Rumble with literally just playing one time the night before the entire event started, and still worked out in their favor. So, though little practice, it might be a little difficult for them here. They just need to make sure, honestly, their rotations are solid and that no one's trying to play solo queue. As we do see Frank, a.k.a. Cran, elevate to play the ball off that back wall. It's centered up. Let's see if Carl can manage to get the ball before Ava does. They do spike it down on the ground. There's a follow-up and a shot on goal coming out. All 3 members of the Mammoths working together to find that net.
The scrims that the Mammoths had went well, I'm told, and they managed to play at least 3 teams in that practice, so even though it was only one night, they managed to get at least a few games under their belt, if you will, and that is working out great for them in terms of this match that they're having right now. Early lead, looks like it's going to try to be pushed toward the goal again, but it's going to be denied by Ava with a great save. But the Vipers really seem to be struggling on regaining this side control. Although right there, Hawker is just going to demo the one in the goal, but there's no follow-up to score on that open goal. So unfortunately, the Vipers making an effort, but it's just not working together quite like it needs to.
Honestly, that demolition was good. It didn't create a positional situation where the Vipers were at a disadvantage, but it didn't open anything up either. It was kind of a zero-sum opportunity for them there. So do it again, but maybe make sure someone's ready to be there for the follow-up. As we see a cross-map shot on goal gets stopped right there by, I believe that was Young.
Here we go in the midfield. Hawker is just going to miss that one. He's going to get the other tap on it, center it up for another shot, but Not quite. It just doesn't look like the mid-air kind of taps from the Vipers have really been that accurate this game. Seems like they've just been fumbling a little in that regard. There goes another demo, but I'm not sure it's going to lead to anything, as the Mammoths have plenty of time to regroup after that. They're just going to play around one of the Vipers again. Contest with Ava, just goes right past Ava, and again. It seems like this mid-air play for the Vipers isn't working out for them.
Hawker got taken out at like the perfect time there for the Mammoths to capitalize on it just as the ball was crossing into like that goal arc is the only way I can describe that. Just an unfortunate situation. One of Doc's old keys to the game was you gotta allay those demos, something you just gotta get in the brain of the person who's going up against you and try to determine whether or not they're gonna try to make you explode.
Ava centers it. Carl doesn't manage to actually missed there in his attempted clear. Luckily for him, no goal from the Mammoths. Again, actually, no, luckily, no goal from the Vipers there. The Mammoths are looking pretty darn good here. As we go past the minute mark, they still have a 2-goal lead. It's going to run right into Carl there, and it's going to get stolen away there by Yun.
We've got Cran rotating back as well as Carl to prevent that goal from being left open. Ava's in there. There's a shot on goal saved by Cran at the last possible second. Now it's in front of the Vipers' goal. It is saved from a double commit there between Ava and one other. Now it's back over towards the Mammoth side. Off the side wall, Hawker gets a shot in. There's not enough of a follow-up, though. All three members of the Mammoths have tried to just come in and brutalize the members of the Vipers. They did turn the ball around, taking out 2 in the process with 20 seconds left on the clock. Let's see if a goal can be scored for the Vipers or if the Mammoths can start to turn this around. If they want an opportunity to bring this to overtime, they need to score a goal here quickly.
And now Hawker has possession of the ball. He's going to try to push it up, but it looks like now it is back in Mammoth's possession just in time for the timer to hit 0. And that's going to do it. The Mammoths, despite having a completely new roster, are really kind of running away with this in this match. Well, if you can see that going it alone can only get you so far. Ultimately, if you want to increase your chances of success, you have to level up your teaming skills. We just saw that with those plays by the Mammoths. Even though they were all new, they really committed to playing together as a team, working together in their practices, and you can see how that worked out for them. Esports Tower really takes the time to create teams of well-matched teammates. I'd like to do a shout out to all the coaches, and for those of you watching who haven't checked out Esports Tower, you should. It's your fast track to rank up. Alrighty, so it looks like Mammoths, despite being a new roster, is really holding up to kind of keeping the Mammoths in a top-tier team. They're going to be at match point now and can close it out.
It's still a best of 3, though, so the Vipers can turn this around. Perhaps using the opportunity that they have, the small, let's say, maybe 1 to 5 minutes between each of these games to talk to each other, possibly get a coach in their headset to talk to them, to be saying what they saw, will give them an opportunity to turn this one around and have the reverse sweep, albeit a small reverse sweep in comparison to a 5-game series, but nonetheless an opportunity to bring this one back.
Well, the interesting thing about the Vipers is that there are no roster changes for them, but they are playing with a very big player pool for Rocket League, 5 to 6 player practice pod. So you're going to probably see some swaps coming in and out as they play throughout the night. So don't be surprised if we see kind of some different players be brought into the Vipers, try to shake it up. We're just going to see how it has to work out for them in this second, in the second game of this best of 3 series. And here we go again.
We do have Cran managing to maintain possession here with a pass over to Young. He gets it centered up, but Ava comes in, spiking it over them. Now it's on the side of the Mammoths. Unfortunately, though, it does not find anyone there to have an easy shot on goal, but there's a follow-up shot. Oh, hitting both crossbars will result in it bouncing out and back towards the mid.
Yeah, unfortunately, that might have picked up a 7-10 split, but it's not going to do you anything here in Rocket League. Right now, in midfield, Z-Hydra trying to pass it over to Hawker. Coaches tell us Hawker's been improving exponentially and has been ranking up in champ very quickly. So that's good in terms of some solo play right now, but let's see if it can be brought together for some team play for the Vipers. We're going to see Carl set it up there. It bounces just a little bit off to the left of the goal. Now Hawker looking to get possession. Carl's going to leave it right there.
Do see some disruption coming out there to force Young and Carl both to lose their dribbles. Cran's definitely taking advantage of one of Doc's keys there. They managed to have a teammate come in to help them out. However, they both lose their dribble there. Ava will elevate, get a shot on goal that's immediately read and turned away by one of the Mammoth members.
Now in midfield, both teams just kind of making some time for themselves. Carl's going to be the one to make the play, blocked by Ava. Now it heads back. Mammoths have to reposition to mount a defense here. There goes Ava around the corner, looking, gets bumped into there by Crayon. Now the follow-up again from Z. Hydra is going to find it. Just wasn't at a great goal there for it. Looked like Jorge there wasn't able to really clear it. He was just in the wrong position and could only look as the follow-up came through.
There was a slight overcommit prior to that goal happening just when it was on the side of the Vipers. The Mammoths had all three members corralled up into the corner, so rotating back and making sure they were in a good position to stop that goal from happening was just not possible. You got to make sure you watch those overcommits as we see the ball get spiked off the side wall, the corner pocket there to one of the Vipers members. They do decide to reset as we see, I believe that was Cran, play it over two members and dropping it down, but it does get taken away by the Vipers here at the corner.
Well, there goes Carl there, but unable to really set it up. Now another clear from the Vipers. Stop before it reaches midfield. Jorge's going to drive around that, not take possession. Now it's driven back up by the Vipers. Bounce off the wall there, back over to Ava, trying to set it up. But now Jorge has it. It's going to be passing through, just dribbling it up the field, leaving it for Carl there, off the crossbar, and no goal, unfortunately, for the Mammoths.
We do see the Vipers get a nice clear here that's dropped down by one of the Mammoth members over into the corner. As we see Cran try to take it up the side, play it around Hawker, but all three members, once again, doing a little bit of an overcommit there, and two of them double committing on the ball within the same quadrant. It's not really something you want to see as Cran tries to dribble this ball down from the air, and unfortunately they do lose their dribble now. Hawker, oh, I think, nope, that's Cran, does try to get it back, but they do lose it.
Ava there setting it up, going to be stopped easily in midair by Crayon. Now Jorge missing the ball, leaving it wide open. Carl has to defend, and he does, but just barely. Unfortunately, those mid-air whiffs have cost teams tonight so far. We have just over a minute left. The Mammoths still have some time to even it up, but it isn't quite looking like it is going to happen yet. But there goes a nice centering by
Oh! Hawker, we didn't see anything, I promise.
Yeah, let's just move right past that. Next kickoff, and looks like the Mammoths might be trying to capitalize on that right now, just getting sort of a back-to-back there. We'll just have to see. Hawker now driving it back up the field, stopped there. It's going to be disrupted by Jorge. Now Carl off the corner. Still Vipers have side control here. They have time to score it, bring themselves into a lead, less than a minute left.
We have Carl get a nice clear, but Ava read it well at the mid, getting a shot on goal. But Cran now has it, taking out one, but that does stop their forward momentum, so the Vipers have an opportunity to bring this ball back towards the midfield. Carl grabs the ball as soon as it hits the ground, spiking it high. Cran trying to steal it off the side wall, does drop it down right in front of the goal, but the Vipers manage to defend just enough as Ava takes it back up. It's read well by the Mammoths, bringing it back to the midfield. Ava still trying to get possession of that ball back, does take out one of the Mammoths members in the process. Carl now elevating as Cran does as well. Both will miss the ball.
Now Ava, she's a new member, but she's been playing with Z Hydra for a while now. She's really strong in the neutral zone, challenging plays as they meet the midline. Here we go. Jorge is going to try to stop the momentum early from the Vipers, but it's going to be driven around there. You can see trying to set it up there right in front of the goal, but unable to score.
We've got Hawker trying to steal the ball away there from Cran. Neither one really get a nice possession of the ball as Hawker elevates at the mid, dragging the ball down. Cran will be there to meet them, forcing the ball to cross the midfield. Z Hydra will find it, sending it back, and Carl and Cran will double team there to get possession of the ball. The follow-up from Young. It's right in front of the Vipers goal, but unfortunately the shot on goal will be too high.
That was a great save by Ava. Now she's going to move here to try to get a goal, clear here rather. It's going to be left toward Hawker, but he can't get it. Oh, look at Ava again. She's been really good on these clears and saves, but it can't turn into, you know, oh, there goes a miss there, though, unfortunately, from Ava. But the clears aren't the main thing. It's really been the Vipers just trying to clear this round, but they haven't really gotten into any sort of offense yet.
Sometimes your best defense can't be your best offense. You just have to wait for these Mammoth players to overcommit, which they've done multiple times already, so that could easily turn into a chance for a clear from Ava to result in a goal from one of their teammates, or perhaps their own. As we see, one of the Mammoths gets taken out of the midfield. They have respawned just in time to grab the ball as Cran gets a shot in, but it's going to go too far to one side. Ava now trying to go for the clear, but Cran will take them out instead.
There goes Hawker, still managed to drive it up the field. It's now going to be left right in front of the goal. Is there going to be a follow-up? Looked like Ava, she was trying to get the goal there, but unable to.
Now Z Hydra has that ball with Hawker flanking them on their side to help prevent it from getting stolen away. Cran gets a nice spike high, but no one's there to help them out, so they're forced to grab it themselves. Z Hydra at the mid trying to stop that ball from crossing the midfield. Cran now trying to drag the ball down. Ava does get the ball away from them, but it's not enough to stop them from trying to go cross and over towards the Vipers goal. It does eventually get cleared by Z Hydra.
Oh, great shot there by Ava. It's going to be set up in front of the goal for the Vipers, but still no real win here.
Oh,
it could be there, though, off the crossbar. Follow-up. There it is from Ava.
Yep.
She scores the goal for the Vipers, winning it for her team. A great job there. The new Mammoths roster looks very strong, but with very limited practice, it looks like they were able the Vipers were able to get some sort of defense there. So great job all around.
All right, they still have one more game. Let's see who ends up winning this one out, as it's a best of three. The semi-reverse sweep might have happened, or that could have just been an off game for the Mammoths, so we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, we'll just have to see if we do have a third game. I'm not quite sure if there might have been a recording error and we only have two, but we will get on that. No, okay, we do have a third game. Just a little bit of an issue with my prompter. But I'm glad that these two teams really show that they are working out great.
We have, unfortunately, Z Hydra on that kickoff, does not get a good touch on it, so the Mammoths will win out that 50-50. It is dropped right there at the mid by Cran, but one of the Vipers members read it well. Spiking it over one of the other players from the Mammoths. They do not lose their possession, but they need to get it centered up for someone else. There's two members of the Mammoths here in the goal, not really something you want to see, but we do have Young waiting at the midfield to prevent it from easily crossing over.
Right now, Vipers and Mammoths look like they are two very evenly matched teams. We have just gone past the 30-second mark with no real goal being scored. Now Z Hydra there with a great stop there. It's now going to push it back toward midfield. It's going to be midfield. Still no real push from the Vipers quite yet. Another 30 seconds is going to burn off the clock. It looks like Hawker gets demoed there. That could be the Mammoths trying to drive it toward the goal, but overall, neither team really seems to be too dominant in the side control.
They just need to honestly, in the words of some of Doc's keys, control the tempo for themselves. If it's too fast, slow it down. Just take advantage of messing up the speed for everyone and their rotations, as we do see the Mammoths closer to the Vipers' goal than the Vipers were themselves there, so a slight overcommit on their offensive push towards the goal. We do have Hawker try to center it up for a teammate. It does get dropped down by Cran, though, and we see a demolition come out. Not quite sure who got taken out, though, as two members of the Mammoths double quit on that ball, but a follow-up shot does find the back of the net. All three members, though, once again, within a short proximity of the goal, not something you want to be doing, especially when you have someone who makes strong clears like Ava does. Yeah,
it definitely seemed like, even though that was a goal, it wasn't quite the most mechanically pretty goal, but I'm sure the Mammoths won't be complaining too much right now. They just need to focus on how can their gameplay be good in the future. Z Hydra leaving it out, leaving it up for Hawker to score the first goal for the Vipers, equalize it with a little under 3 left.
As we go into the kickoff, it does get the 50-50 is not really won by anyone,
Wow.
but people rotating towards the sides to grab the boost just left an opportunity for that ball to be beeline straight into the net.
Another kickoff, pinched off to the side. Carl's going to get the better of that 50-50, drive it toward the goal. Going to be deflected over to the corner by Hawker. Now with the wall, driving it right toward the goal and trying to follow up Ava. She has to defend there and is going to be able to at least push it off to the side, leave enough time for Hawker to go in. He's going to try to get the goal here, but unable to. Just a little bit of a tap from the Mammoths is going to deflect it.
We do have Z Hydra trying to center the ball up towards one of their teammates, but Cran comes in, stealing it away, gets a shot on goal. It does hit one of the crossbars. We have Z Hydra yet again getting a nice clear. It's going to be stopped there right in front of the goals. One demolition from Ava comes out right inside of the goal. Will this be an opportunity for the Vipers to find another goal for themselves as we hit that 2-minute mark?
Jorge there, driving it back toward, from my angle, that looked like it was right on center, but it was just a little bit off to the right. They do want that insurance goal really badly here. Going to get demoed there. Some demos being exchanged between both teams now. Now here go the Mammoths looking for this goal. It's going to be, it looks like Jorge there still managing to keep it in good territory there. Carl moving in with a great little chip shot in there. That could be all the difference now as we have a little bit over 90 left.
It does look like we had some disconnects coming out from the Vipers, so the Mammoths just trying to stall out time for a little bit, seeing if they'll come back. Unfortunately, internet's a thing. It is a technology, and technology does not always work in our favor. As we've got, it looks like Young trying to just make some fancy aerial plays, dropping the ball down, now getting nice control here. See if they can pass it over towards Carl and just work on those passing lanes that they've kind of messed up a little bit. And honestly, have a little bit more faith and confidence in one another as we see Z Hydra has come back into the game, so there's one reconnect. Hopefully the Mammoths are good sports about this. They are a little bit not. You should have just, left the ball there for Z Hydra and wait for the other ones to connect. Server issues happen. It's not everybody's best friend. Oh, okay. I believe that was Young who just literally demoed Z Hydra. Young, don't do that again.
Well, it looks like it's going to be cold right there, unfortunately. So we didn't get to see a really great end to it, but overall, it is going to be given to the Mammoths. And, normally kind of the rules are once the first goal is scored, it is fair. So if there is kind of a disconnect there, then I would imagine that they would rule from the 3-1 point that they just weren't able to reconnect. But that is going to do it for the first batch of games. Do you have any last thoughts there, Nerdy?
Honestly, I feel like the Vipers just need to work on being a annoying force on the field. Ava, she did a great job being a defensive player. She had some great goals as well. However, they played very passively, all three members of the Vipers, throughout the entire course of those games. And just getting into the passing lanes, getting demolitions. Yes, we saw some starting to happen towards the end. It seemed like some people were kind of just out to get the gasoline. But you need to use those to your advantage. They almost had it work out twice where they had a nice demolition, but there wasn't communication for the follow-up to occur for the shot to happen on the goal. So it's just something that comes with time.
Well, we're going to take a quick break and be back with more group stage games. So stay tuned. We'll be back with more Esports Tower. But first, we have a little bit of business to take care of you viewers.
NationalGuard.com to begin your Guard adventure.
Welcome back to this broadcast of the Esports Tower Rumble. We're broadcasting to you from the Boise State Game Pants Esports Arena. Week 5 is in full swing, and we will continue with more of this group stage. Specifically, Group B is going to be playing their games now. I'm your host, Jacob Jem Palmer, joined by Artie Nerdy Rain. But before we want to get back to commenting on the Rocket League action, we just want to take a moment to congratulate all of the Esports Tower Club members who have graduated from the clubs and have been offered scholarships across the country. Over the last 3 months, Esports Tower members have been received over $1.2 million in scholarships awards. These students not only worked hard in their gameplay, but worked hard academically and have earned these scholarship opportunities. The players that have received these scholarships are talented, hardworking, and driven, and we could not be more excited and proud to see all the opportunities that these players are getting. So, overall, it looks like we are going to be getting into a Lions match next up, and that was one of the teams that you were mentioning earlier, kind of at the beginning of this broadcast, Nerdy, about some of the struggles they've been having.
Yeah, a lot of these teams, I won't lie, even the highest ranked ones, going back to like the Ghosts, not to like pick on anybody, but you guys do have, you know, kind of like, you are the squad that was formulated specifically to be a dominating force, and so a lot of players and teammates will look up to you from your other teams. And something that everybody across the board here within Esports Tower we've seen before happening, we saw it in our earlier matches this evening, is just the unfortunate double commits that we see ultimately resulting in a loss. You need to make sure you work on your communication and you aren't a ball hog. The Lions have not had that issue as much, but they definitely need to, as I said to the Vipers, work on your aggression, work on getting in those passing lanes. You don't have to go for the demolition, but you can be annoying by just pushing someone else's car around.
Well, those aren't the only tips for these players. We do have Doc's keys to the game, the official tips before we get into the game. And in Rocket League, that's to create mistakes, punish the overcommit, don't overstay, and bump and demo to disrupt. We've seen some goals brought forth from demos tonight. That's all brought to you by Esports Tower. You can score pro advice at esportstower.com. Improve your game sense, improve your team play, and improve your performance under pressure. You'll get matched with great players and professional coaches to help you rank up. Jumping into round 3 match with the Esports Tower Lions versus the Red Gators in what should be a great game. The Lions have looked really strong tonight and are showing off what they have learned in practice. The Red Gators still looking to put their first win of the group stage on the board, which would give their team some confidence. Let's see who takes home this game right now.
Coming off the kickoff, the Lions won that one out. There was 2 members waiting on the ground there from the Lions to try and stop that ball from getting, from the Gators. Talk about plays it off the wall to one of their teammates. Unfortunately, Thrift gets in there before anyone else can follow it up. There's a shot on goal, and it might just roll in with a little help from gravity. Jababy tries to come in and follow it up. Thrift comes in from the mid, seeing a chance and pushing the ball in. Nicely done for the Lions there. Let's see if the Gators can bring this one back off. This kickoff as 3 members, Jababy and Thrift, collide with Taco Bell there at the mid, but the Gators still win out that one, but Thrift sends it right back over. Now Plee elevating to spike the ball down onto the ground in front of the Red Gators goal. Unfortunately, no one's there for the follow-up.
Thrift really stands out for the Lions with his mechanics, and the coaches say that he has been way ahead of everybody in dribbling exercises, so might want to look out for him to score some goals in the future as well. And right now the Lions have some good side control, and there it is again, another great goal, this time from Jababy, who is also a great player. And Taco might want to watch out for that paint there. That looks a bit concerning.
It's not good, as some might say. The Red Gators, though, nice job there from HDR stopping that ball. Now they elevate to spike it down. Jababy does find it, though, eventually sending it back over to one of their teammates. With Thrift elevating to get a shot on goal, 2 members from the Gators there will find it and prevent it from going in. They're all kind of bunched up here, which is not something you want to see as the Lions find another goal for themselves. The Gators, though, still looking very strong. Their rotations are great, which is something they've been working on with their coaches, especially on their defensive plays here. Let's see if that works out in their favor. As I said earlier, best defense can become a strong offense, as the Lions still are overcommitting a bit here and overstaying.
Here we go, back in favor of the Lions. Once again, have possession. Really been a story of just almost total side control from them thus far. HDR just trying to get it clear, but unable to. As once again, the Lions now back over to where Jababy is. Lee's gonna stop that clear from going. Now HDR once again trying, but just gets denied immediately. HDR has been a member of the Esports Tower program for a long time and really complements the styles of Hodge. He does a great job communicating on the field and making shot calls. But overall for the Red Gators, if I remember correctly, he is just a substitution in for them right now. So overall as a team, they're still trying to work out some of those communication errors.
Playing with the substitute can be an Achilles heel for a team, so it's an unfortunate situation to be in, but it's something you just got to learn to work around as we get a nice spike up to the ceiling there from, I believe that was Hodge, but unfortunately they do lose it out. They elevate again, them and Taco Bell both do. That might be an unfortunate double commit as we see Plea get a shot on goal off the back high backboard. There's a follow-up from Thrift and Jababy, but Taco Bell comes in grabbing it. Plea now trying to race them for the ball. It does look like Hodge gets that ball at the midfield. He's going to try to play it over Thrift. Thrift reads it perfectly, though, and is going to pass it over to Jababy, who just passes it right back. Now Taco Bell trying to battle it out for the ball here. That's been passed back to Jababy and passed to Plea. Shot on goal will be turned away there by HDR.
Now here we go, just has a nice little play around one of the members of the Lions there, but that's going to be the extent of the victories for the Red Gators right now as the Lions very quickly get back their side control. Jababy there is going to center it up just too far to the left for that to actually be a shot on goal, but that goal was left pretty wide open there, and that's really kind of concerning there. What also is concerning is even though I saw this goal there, that was a double commit from the Lions trying to get that goal, so that's not the first time I've seen it this round. So even though they are doing, a great job and are ahead, you don't want to get too careless when you're in the lead like that.
We do have Plea now rotating back, trying to make sure that goal's not left open. They almost scored an own goal, just like Jem said. You cannot be overcommitting on that ball. Even if you think it's going to go in, all three of you being in the goal for the other side is not something you want to see. Someone needs to be at the mid and ready to defend as we have Thrift trying to, it just decides to back off, get the mega boost as we have them now bringing the ball high in the air. Let's see if it's going to be able to be stopped. It's not,
wow.
And they just drag the ball right into the net, bringing their score up to 5. 55 seconds left on the clock. Red Gators probably cannot bring this back, but they can start to close that gap just a little bit to bring up the morale here as we see that 50-50 go in favor of the Gators.
Well, congrats on Jababy for getting the first hat trick of the night there. And that really kind of can be a real skill ceiling, if you will, just the ability to do those mid-air plays. I think that's another hat trick there. That's going to be one for Thrift there, so congrats to both of those players for doing a great job. 6-0, no real time or way for the Red Gators to be able to win this one. Right now, it's just really a matter of how much of a margin do the Lions want to try to get? How much salt are they going to pour in that wound? Less than half a minute left.
We have Plea make a nice stop there in mid-air at the midfield. HDR comes in to volley it back over towards the Red Lions side. Talk about waiting on the ground as a double commit comes out between Thrift and it looked like Jababy there. Shot on goal turned away by Plea. Thrift and Plea now rotating forward. Jababy trying to get this ball away from Hodge, who's trying to get nice control at the mid. It doesn't get taken away. Tossed over to Plee on the far side of the field. As the ball hits the ground, the clock hits 0.
Well, overall, Red Gators still trying to look to clear things up, but overall, if you want to score pro advice, improve your game sense, improve your team play, and want to be seen by expert college recruiters, talk directly to esports industry insiders, people like pro athletes, team general managers, game producers, then join the club. Esports Tower players get insider access to industry insights, and with our featured Rumbles, recruiters are taking notice too. It's a great way to score exposure if you're looking to start your path to pro or land a collegiate scholarship.
One important thing about this collegiate scholarships, as Jem mentioned earlier, and we were talking about that large lump sum of money that all these players have brought in, is the fact that academics are still important. Colleges are still looking to create students first and athletes second. So make sure you focus on your academics, put that first. Make sure your health is also in place, because you never want to come to college and then get super duper sick because you've just been staying up super late to get your homework done and cue games all night long. So take care of yourself, take care of your grades first and foremost, and then don't give up on your love of esports.
Yeah, don't do the stereotypical diet of just Doritos and Cheetos. That is not going to be good for your immune system. You know, make sure you're taking care of yourself, getting a lot of sleep, eating healthy, and of course, getting good grades.
I mean, if you want to be a Bronco, yeah, or we bleed orange and blue, but don't turn your insides orange with Cheeto dust.
No, no, don't. Especially the bright neon colors that schools often use for their mascots. If it's the same color as your school mascot, you might want to think a little bit about the nutrition value of whatever you're eating. But right now, enough of that side tangent about staying healthy. Right now, we're going to jump into this premier match, which is going to be the Mammoths versus the Blue Gators. The Mammoths have looked strong team tonight. Just a little bit of time together as a team. The Blue Gators is another one of the teams that has been improving a lot in practice, has been able to translate that into Rumble successes in the last 2 events. So let's see how they do now.
It looked like on that kickoff there was some miscommunication happening from the Blue Gators. No one was really going for the ball. They all just decided to go get boost. Thankfully, no one scored off of it, so it's been about 30 seconds since that happened. I believe that's Toke, I'm going to say is their name. I can't really read it from this angle. Had a nice opportunity to get a shot on goal. Unfortunately, the elevation from one of their teammates, though, cannot prevent the Mammoths from finding the back of the net.
Yeah, it looks like Toke along with Fiery and Wi-Fi there. So here go the Blue Gators again. Toki's going to try to elevate up. Isn't able, though, to meet Crayon there.
We've got Wi-Fi passing the ball over to Toke there. Unfortunately, it does get stolen away by one of the Mammoths members. Wi-Fi rotating back towards the goal, making sure it's not being left open. So those are strong rotations we see from the Gators. Carl also making sure they're not leaving the goal open. Will grab the ball as it's tossed towards the goal by one of the Blue Gators members.
Mammoth still with an early lead. It's going to be pushed back toward midfield as Toke tries to take possession, but Jorge is going to win that contest there. Now pushing it back towards, getting a little bit of a bump there from Fiery. It's going to help push the ball way back over toward the Mammoth's own goal. This is the opportunity. Wi-Fi try to make something happen there, but a great clear by the Mammoths. Jorge's going to chase after the clear that he got. Leave it for Carl just off the post. And unfortunately for them, they're not going to be able to expand on their lead.
All 3 members of the Mammoths, yet again, though, were inside that goal box for the Gators. Not something you want to see, as we see a double commit between Cran and Carl happening in mid-flight. Thankfully, Cran will get possession of it, but Fiery there will make them lose their dribble. Jorge is rotated back, tries to toss it up to one of their teammates, but Wi-Fi jumps up, spiking it off their hood. Still in possession of the Mammoths, though, as they turn it back over towards the Gators side.
Crayon there. Tried to push it around the corner, but the ball just took kind of a weird bounce off that corner and came right back towards Crayon. Crayon brings a lot of competition experience to this roster, and if he can take the talent of this team and lead them in the game, we could see them go very far in this event. As a reminder, this is the group stage. Next week, we will see what overall tournament showdowns that these teams have been placed into. Right now, Mammoths have a narrow lead over the Blue Gators. We're now going to try to take their opportunity here. They're going to try to center it up. The ball is very high, though. Not easy to get a goal to shoot it down into the goal from there.
We had Toki try to be the follow-up. Unfortunately, they were not there fast enough. Now everyone for the Blue Gators has to race back towards their goal. It is going to be sent back towards the midfield with no one beating any of the Vipers to that ball. It does look like Jorge does get possession. They play it around one member of the Gators, but Toke will steal it away off the wall, dropping it down, centering it up for a teammate. Will Wi-Fi be able to get it? They do, but they were hit by one of the Mammoth members in mid-flight, redirecting the ball slightly towards one side. So now the Mammoths have the opportunity to bring this one back as Jorge brings it past that midfield mark.
Now trying to waterfall it down into the goal, isn't going to find it there. Fiery was just waiting to get that clear. Is going to be able to. Can they follow it up with a shot? Tokay looked like they got a bit of a tap there, but unfortunately it looked like the ball just took a bounce off the ground, killed all of the momentum for it. And now here goes the counterattack from the Mammoths. They're just going to find it again just off that left post. Not working out for them, but they still have this 1-goal lead.
That was a fabulous play, though, that the Mammoths did make there. It was a nice pop-up and pass from Carl over towards Jorge. And like you said, that crossbar has just not been anybody's friend. These two members of the Mammoths will elevate, and one of the Blue Gators will. The ball does not find the back of the net, but Carl still maintains possession here for the Mammoths, with Fiery also there. Let's see if they'll be able to make a goal off of this. Jorge stops the ball from being redirected across that midfield, but now that forces his other teammate to rotate back.
Carl driving it again. Really nice stop there in midfield for any sort of clearer momentum from the Blue Gators. Going to try again, but once again it's stopped midfield, and now they're looking to just kind of run out this timer here. And it's going to center it up again. It's just a little bit high for the goal. Wi-Fi is going to stop any sort of shot on goal there. But Carl's going to try again, leaving it, and he just runs right into Fiery.
Jorge was waiting at the mid. They're kind of playing a chase game here for that ball. They steal that corner boost, which is a great way to prevent anyone from getting the opportunity to keep their speed above their own team. Now we've got 5 seconds left on the clock. We've got to score, reminiscent of good soccer here. The Gators have had great defense. They just were not able to find that one equalizer goal. Now the ball just needs to hit the ground now, as everyone looks like they're trying to keep it alive, but that corner pocket might be their doom, and it is.
So what's interesting is the Mammoths really seem to be a team that hasn't really played as this sort of team composition well, but they are all players, the coaches tell us, that are very strong individually, but they each have their own flaws that they have to work out in practice.
Probably one of them is the overcommitting and double committing, which, like we've mentioned before, you got to communicate who's moving
the
where.
solo queue mentality.
Yes. Yes, this is a team game at the end of the day. I understand that solo queue is very important. It can improve a lot of your dribbling skills and things in that regard, but got to pass to each other. You got to make sure you're not both committing on a ball at the same time, and stop over-committing into the goals. Both teams did that when they were going for goal-scoring opportunities. Thankfully, I don't think in that match we really saw it be kind of a deficit to anyone. It didn't look like a goal was scored off of it. However, it can be. It's just, you just got to wait for the day that a team starts capitalizing on those overcommits from a team, and then you'll learn your lesson. Perhaps it's going to actually take that, and your coach and us saying this will be nothing until then.
Well, we are going to jump into the second game of this match. It's best of three. The Mammoths have placed themselves at match point, but overall, I think we have been in this situation beforehand. Yeah, because the Vipers were in that situation, but that went to a game 3, our last premier match before our first break, so could be a very similar thing here. The Blue Gators did not allow the score to be run up by the Mammoths. It was only a 1-goal game, so I'd say you really can't count them out.
I know it sounds kind of extreme to call it a reverse sweep. It's a little bit difficult to call it that when it's a best-of-3 series.
It's a mini reverse.
Yeah, it's a mini one. It's more like you get 2 games and then 1 decider in these cases, especially when the Gators have been performing as well as they have. The rotations and defense have been very strong, so I do not foresee that being a huge issue for them throughout the remainder of this one, as we do see that Toke managed to score a goal there right off the gate, but it looks like they might have one player disconnecting right now for the Blue Gators, so they're having to work a little bit extra to find the rest of these goals here.
Yeah, just kind of a weird situation, I suppose, with just some connection issues. Happens to all of us here, just kind of the eternal battle of esports and just to maintain a stable connection. But overall, it just looks like not really some intense action here. They're just waiting to see if there can be a respawn. It does look like there has been, so now we are back to it. The timer is at 3 minutes 40 seconds. Right now, the Mammoths look to have side control, but now here go the Gators with their drive. Are going to be stopped by Jorge.
There was some nice passing going on there between the Gators. It's just the give and go time was just a little bit off. Got to do it faster than that. Unfortunately, just like tap and go. That's all you get really. Otherwise, the Mammoths are going to come in and take it away. As Jorge jukes out 2 members of the Gators there, getting a shot on goal. The crossbar, yet again, not being their friend, and a save from one of the Gators will help them out as well. The ball, another shot on goal, turned away by 2 members of the Gators, colliding with it at the same time. They are managing to turn it around, but a demolition comes out onto one of them. So that respawn timer might be enough for the Mammoths to bring this one back as Jorge yet again stops the ball at the midfield.
Ooh, a double commit there by the Blue Gators, just leaving it wide open for the Mammoths to gain back control. He's going to head back over, actually. Oh! Wow, that's actually going to be Fiery there, who's credited with that, although I'm pretty sure it was Jorge trying to regain control of the ball.
Sometimes being a little bit too flashy can be your undoing. Still got almost a little bit more than half of this round left, though, so the Mammoths have an opportunity to tie this one up, possibly bring this into overtime or find 3 goals. But as I say that, the Blue Gators find their 3rd goal.
Yeah, 1 for each player. Looks okay. I am not quite sure what's going on here.
That was actually a calculated play from the Gators there. Well, from the Blue Gators there. They intentionally faked out the Mammoths player who's coming in for the kickoff, making them think that the ball was going to go high, allowing their own teammate to just come in and drop the ball into the goal.
Well, at this point, it looks like it just might not be doable for the Mammoths to win this game. As the Blue Gators have very quickly, in a short amount of time, run up a 4-goal lead. It could be a 5-goal right here. And I think we might be also having some issues with Crayon, too, as he's just kind of sitting in front of the goal.
Yeah. The thing with esports is, you know how physical sports, typically the issue is either injury, which sometimes, I hate to say this, but carpal tunnel is a thing for gamers and anyone that works in an office space. But for esports players, it's not weather, it's not injuries. It's electronics, Wi-Fi, and internet connection that are the determining factors of whether or not things can proceed as planned.
Well, right now it looks like the Mammoths are just going to let this particular match proceed as planned, give the Blue Gators a win here. So we're just kind of waiting as a formality for this timer to tick down to 0 to see if we can't solve any sort of the issues that Crayon is facing right now.
Unfortunately, it does look like the Gators will take advantage of Crayon's unfortunate controller or connection situation going on right now and allow them to bring their score up to 5, which, you know, after the last round where the Mammoths had 6 goals, it's fair. The Gators have an opportunity to get possibly 6 goals here as there's just 1 minute left on the clock. Carl, though, playing it around 3 people themselves off that kickoff, will find 1 goal, closing that gap just a little bit. We've seen 4 goals scored in a short amount of time here in Esports Tower. I don't foresee that happening, though, as Jorge gets the ball off that kickoff, taking it off the ceiling. Let's see if they can drop it down to Carl. Unfortunately, Carl does miss that ball. Now there's no one in the net. Overcommit from the Mammoths might result in a goal here for the Gators. Never mind, the Mammoths have possession again, but Fiery will elevate, missing the ball, unfortunately, as Jorge brings it down in front of the Gators' goal.
And it seems now that the Mammoths are back at full strength, that they might just be able to at least make a little bit of a show of it. But it does look like most likely we are going to head to a Game 3. But Carl making a pretty good run at it. I mean, it's not out of the realm of possibility. 2
goals, 30 seconds. It's definitely doable. But they have to score one here very fast off that kickoff. Unfortunately, they will just reset, realizing that one was not it. We have Toki try to elevate. Unfortunately, they did miss the ball. Wi-Fi helps him out a little bit. The positioning here from the Mammoths is actually very strong as Carl comes in to take out one of the members of the Gators. Now the ball's still in the corner on the Mammoths side. They have possession, though. Let's see if it'll work out in their favor. 6 seconds left on the clock, 5 seconds. This one's not going to go in the favor of the Mammoths. They had a great comeback starting. It just started a little bit late. We're going to go into a game 3 regardless.
Well, it is kind of interesting. If you looked at the status update for all of those teammates, you know, it's kind of a reminder, if you will, sort of real-world conditions that a lot of players have to play with. You know, we saw a lot of pings in the 80s and the 100s there, and it's easy when you're kind of an athlete in one of these arenas and everything's wired and you log in and the ping rate is at 10, and it's like, oh, that's, yes. But, you know, a lot outside players have to play on Wi-Fi. Sometimes you have to play on hotel Wi-Fi. I'm sure you can relate. Yes, or toaster Wi-Fi. So I'm sure you can relate, Nerdy, having been on a lot of esports teams, having to deal with all sorts of different connection strengths.
It's understandable. If these things happen, you just got to keep going and try to not let it tilt you. Servers, for some reason, over the course of the past week with multiple games, have been struggling just a little bit.
Well, we'll see if everything can't work out as intended here as we move on into Game 3. This is going to be the one that decides it for either the Blue Gators or the Mammoths. Right now, the Blue Gators, with the help of a nice little clear there, are going to gain some early side control. Jorge's going to try to stop that. Played around Wi-Fi, is sort of able to, leaves it for a teammate to keep it going, but it does get stopped up near midfield.
Toki was the one to do that stop. They do try to play it around 2 members of the Mammoths, but Jorge, as well as their teammate, read that one well, managed to stop it, but Toki still not giving up here. Has an opportunity to center this ball up, but there's a double commit from both sides, allowing Jorge to bring this ball up the side now themselves. They've got to play it around 1 member, though, and Wi-Fi comes in to just disrupt and take the ball away. That was a double commit, though, from the Blue Gators. Let's see if that positioning mistake will be something the Mammoths can take advantage of. They do not, as the ball gets sent over towards the side. A shot on goal, still not going to be within range of that goal.
Now struggling a little bit to find their clear. In come the Mammoths with the shot, finding it just a little bit over a minute into the round. Carl gets the first goal.
That was a fancy drift there coming out from Jorge as well in our little cinematic scene that was occurring. Fiery gets a nice, easy win off that kickoff. Toki comes in to grab the ball away from them. Now they're going to look to center it up, but before they can, Jorge comes in, stealing the ball away, pops it up over around Wi-Fi. We hear a demolition come off on someone off screen. Carl grabbing the ball, sending it across the midfield. There was another demolition on a Blue Gators member, but the overcommit at the mid from the Mammoths will result in a goal for the Gators.
And now here we go with the next kickoff, way in favor of Crayon, and is just going to get it there. Well, sometimes you just take those quick goals.
Do it again. See if you can, though. I highly doubt it'll be allowed to happen. Never mind. Jorge gets a nice shot that was high in front of the goal. Did drop down, but the follow-up was not fast enough from their teammates, so they're trying to make me eat my words.
It can be hard to calculate, you know, when the ball is falling like that and you have to calculate your speed in relation to it.
I have said it before, and I'll say it 1,000 times over. You basically need to be a master of these in-game physics, borderline a physics doctorate, like equivalency in this game to fully read all of those every single time. And as I'm saying that, we see Cran find another goal, and it does look like Wi-Fi might be having some Wi-Fi issues.
Ironically there, but yeah, if not a physics degree, then at least take a college trig course, you know. At least take some trigonometry to help you out here in Rocket League. But right now is going to be in the territory of the Mammoths, who are looking for their clear. Crayon is going to be the one to defend here, is able to take it away.
Got Carl now managing to grab it away. But Jorge and Carl both kind of miscommunicating there, allowing Toki to just slow down a little bit, control the pace. It does end up still with the Mammoths getting possession. Jorge taking it up the side. We've got Cran rotating forward, being ready for the forward pass, just throwing Wi-Fi out of the goal area to open up the net just a little bit. Unfortunately, it does end up getting volleyed back towards the Mammoth side of the field as the demolition comes out. A cloud of smoke, could not see who it was, but someone went down there.
Jorge is fighting with Toki for possession there. He's unable to find it. The ball has a lot of altitude. Team's just probably going to wait for it to calm down just a little bit. Now Jorge has possession, is going to pass it over to a teammate trying to find it. A last-minute save, a double commit save, but one nonetheless is going to stop that goal.
Yeah, we've got the Mammoths rotating back now. Jorge already just going right back in, trying to make sure the pace is not in favor of the Gators. As long as Jorge does not slow down, the Gators cannot reconvene and take a deep breath to get control of the pace of everything here. Jorge passes it back towards, I believe that was Cran, but they do lose out to Fiery, and a demolition will come out as well onto one of the Gators. Next 2 seconds are an opportunity for the Mammoths to make something happen from that Toge's back, though. So now they have the opportunity to turn this one around for themselves.
Off we go to the races with Carl, who pushes it down off of the crossbar. There's the follow-up they were looking for, with some help from Crayon, who gets the hat-trick credit. That is going to be a very nice lead for the Mammoths.
Oh no, it looks like it's Carl's turn to have connection issues here as we're ticking down to that 1 minute mark.
Oh,
no,
okay.
Carl's back. Okay, they were stagnant there for a bit, but Fiery will take advantage of Carl's unfortunate situation and score a goal. Yes,
yeah,
Carl's
he's at
ping
120. Yeah.
Jorge, though, is chilling out at 28 ping right now. It feels like the balance has to be across all 3 players, so one gets horrible, one gets fantastic ping for themselves. Let's see if they can manage to keep this alive, though. Having that ping issue can be unfortunate, but you're up by 2, playing strong on defense will be the deciding factor here. Just not overcommitting, realizing that Carl's going to have some lag issues is important.
I mean, in a typical kind of, oh, looky here, wide open goal, they left it. That was so dangerous for the Mammoths. I was going to say there after that minor palpitation that kind of, you know, a gentleman's agreement, if you will, sort of in the line of Rule 1 is if a player has connection issues, you know, kind of push them off to a side, another teammate kind of goes off to the side, and then it's played via 2v2. But the teams kind of tonight are ruthless in the regard that if you have a connection issue, that's on you, and we'll happily score a goal. But right now it looks like everyone is back where they need to be. With only 10 seconds left, it looks like the Mammoths are going to be able to close out the win for tonight.
After giving us some minor anxiety, some heart palpitations, lowering our lifespan expectancy by maybe 2 years there, they do.
Well, great job there by the Mammoths. Despite being a team that hasn't played a lot together, the high individual skill is enough for them to get a win there. So congrats to them, and we'll see where that overall places them as we get ready to go into the next week. Overall, if you want to be seen by expert college recruiters, talk directly to esports industry insiders and pro athletes, like team general managers and game producers, then you should join the club. Join Esports Tower. It's the fastest way to rank up and start your collegiate journey. Well, overall, we will be taking a short break and be back with the last of our group stage action. So please keep it tuned. We'll be back after this.
Visit NationalGuard.com to begin your guard adventure.
Welcome back to the Boise State Game Pants Esports Arena. You're joining us for the final bit of matches here in the Week 5 of the Esports Tower Rumble. We're still in group stages right now. I'm still your host, Jacob Jim Palmer, joined by Artie Nerdy Rain. And Artie, the three teams that they were going to look forward to here, the Vipers, the Blue Gators, and the Lions are going to be kind of the final teams to finish up their matches here.
All right, well, it's going to be exciting to see how those all rounded out. Let's see what, honestly, in a single day, especially when you have so many matches, you can see a lot of improvement occurring just as players realize the mistakes that they're making throughout the course of each game. So let's see the improvement that's occurred for everyone that's involved with these remainder highlights that we're going to be seeing. And I'm excited to see if we're going to see a lot more disruption because, as everybody knows, I absolutely adore demolitions, especially when they're done in the right situations. So don't just go demolition crazy, please.
Well, let's take a look at Doc's keys to the game one final time for the night in Rocket League. To create mistakes, punish the overcommit, don't overstay, and there's you were talking, Nerdy. Bump and demo to disrupt. Doc's Keys to the Game brought to you by Esports Tower. Improve your game sense, improve your team play, and improve your performance under pressure. You'll get matched with great players and professional coaches to help you rank up. Let's get into another highlight matchup. This time the Esports Lions taking on the Esports Vipers in what should be a close game. Lions have looked like the strongest team of the night and have their eyes set on getting the first rank out of the group. The Vipers have made the biggest improvements lately, and they have shown they can challenge top teams, so it should be an exciting game.
We do have Plea doing what they do best so far, making sure that they are staying in that goal, being ready to save it from anyone as Jababy takes the ball off the wall, elevating it, bringing down in front of the goal, but two members of the Vipers rush in to send the ball off towards the side.
Now the Lions, finding it just a little bit. Wasn't going to be sure if they were going to be able to do that, but indeed they do. Plea is going to be credited with that one. And here we go. Can they do it again? Can they score it again? They have the side control, going to be leaving it up to Thrift. But right there, the Vipers are able to disrupt enough to buy them a few seconds.
Thrift rotated back, recognizing Plea had pulled forward a little bit just to make sure that no one was going to be overcommitting for the side of the line. So they definitely have improved that even through the course of this evening. That's nice to see as a slow shot there from the Vipers will be easily grabbed by Jababy. Stopped by Zahydra there at the mid, but Thrift pops over them, finding the back of the goal.
Now an early lead for the Lions here. Just 1 minute past. Plea and Thrift go chasing after the ball as it does look like kickoff does get Lions even more side control. They're going to stop that clear. Play pass. A lot of them, they overextended a little. Hawker has to race back.
It looks like we had a roll one happening.
It just might have been, but
I think Plea just broke the rule one too because they just kept driving. Plea, what have you done?
Well, I mean, it's not an official thing.
I know it's not,
this is
but it's
still
like
a tournament.
Curse. It can be a curse. Just be careful.
Well, tell that to the Lions.
I know. You're going to get some bad juju later on, though, my friend. It's just the gaming gods find a way to work it out.
We'll have to see. Right now, it looks like the Lions are just kind of enjoying this game so much. No real bad aura for them quite yet as they have maintained this heavy side control. Now going for a fifth. It's going to be blocked, but Thrift credited with another shot on goal there. Here we go again from the Lions. Can they do it a fifth time? Indeed they can.
Thrift drove through one of the players that was, I believe that might have been Climb 1 there in the goal. Just taking them out completely, so there was nothing that could be done as that ball rolled past that goal line.
The Vipers don't even want to contest the kickoff now. It's like they're resigning themselves to saying, okay, the Lions are going to get it.
Well, if you don't want to risk losing your positioning because you just get thrown away by a kickoff, setting up to be defensive and turn it around since the kickoff ultimately is going to get tossed somewhere and no one's really going to be immediately in the possession of that ball. It does get the opportunity for the Vipers to grab it off the kickoff, not even having it go towards the Lion side of the field first. So it could work out in their favor. We'll have to wait and see.
Hawker is going to start sort of the first push for the Vipers. What a nice little tap there. Actually, Climb 1 was trying to get control of that. It didn't turn out nice for him. That actually just turned into a clear way back over toward the Lions, who are more than happy to take possession and put pressure on the Vipers. Jababy pushes it off to the side. Now he's going to go up the wall with Thrift, play it around the Vipers, and now are going to be setting it up for another goal, possibly their 6th.
We've got 2 minutes still on the clock. This is an opportunity for the Vipers to turn this around as Climb 1 tries to play it around one of the Lions, but they come in anyway and find the back of that net.
Alrighty, 2 goals is 2-2-2 for each player, so if any other goal is scored, it's going to be a hat trick for at least one of the Lions players. But overall, I'm sure even if they didn't score anything else, they would be more than happy with the result of this match. They're just going to demo one, keep driving it up the field. It's going to be Climb 1 who stops it.
Climb unfortunately has that ball taken away though, but I believe that is Thrift right there. He's now kind of rotating back, leaving the ball open for Plea to come in, but the ball is left wide open. Well, the net's left wide open. Jababy did get a demolition though, so there was not an opportunity for there to be a follow-up. Jababy using that corner to try and get the ball high across the field. Unfortunately though for them, one of the Vipers members will beat them to that ball and they stop it, but Thrift still comes in, spiking it over them nonetheless.
All right, looks like we have just about 1 minute left. And I don't really think that's any sort of time to get 6 goals here to meet the Lions. I think it's well and truly decided for them. Here we go. Vipers trying to, they saw a little bit of an opening there, but it really didn't last that long. They need to get a clear here, the Lions. Not a state that they find themselves in that often, needing to clear, at least as far as this game is concerned. Now Plea is going to drive it over to where Z Hydra was. Now it goes to the other side of the field. Thrift picking up the full boost. Now going to just play it around the Vipers. Great drive up the field. And a nice little tap there from Jababy, getting the side control possibly for a 7th goal. He doesn't find it, but not that they needed it.
18 seconds left. Please still trying to make that 7th goal happen. Jababy as well, but Z Hydra finds a clear. There's no one for the Lions over by their net. This is an opportunity, but they do come back in the nick of time. Jababy is still cherry picking here over by the Vipers goal, though, as the clock ticks down to that 3-second mark. Now just got to hit the ground, and that's the end of the round. If the Lions are seriously trying to keep this one alive for themselves, don't. Please just don't.
They might just, yeah, they're doing it. The Lions are breaking the rule 1, keeping it going. They are tempting fate tonight, but overall it doesn't look like fate has anything against the Lions because they're going to get the victory there. Well, do you want to be seen by expert college recruiters, talk directly to esports industry insiders like pro athletes, team general managers, and game producers? Then you should join the club. Esports Tower players get insider access to industry insights, and with our featured Rumbles, recruiters are taking notice too. It's a great way to score exposure if you're looking to start your path to pro or land a collegiate scholarship. Alrighty, we have just one more match to see for tonight. It's going to be our last premier match, the Vipers versus the Blue Gators in a best of 3. So overall, from what we've seen from these two teams before, what are your thoughts?
Honestly, my previous statements still stand. I hope you guys start just being more aggressive, get in the passing lanes, make the mistakes for the team, make the mistakes for the other team for them. Don't wait for them to do it themselves. At this level of gameplay, you're playing a game of mistakes, and you have to force them to happen.
Well, our last premier match of the night should be an exciting one. Vipers taking on the Blue Gators in a best of 3. The Vipers have had a few stumbles tonight, but overall, their play looks good, especially after that first goal. Blue Gators are another team that has a lot of potential. They've been working on their consistency. We'll see who will take home the last premier match of the night.
Right now, the Blue Gators, who are currently in orange, that's always a lovely thing for my eyes and brain to have to work out, are looking to try and get a clear here. Ava staying by the goal. She's making sure it's not easily scored on. Unfortunately, she will miss that ball right there, but Z Hydra will help them out just a little bit. Oh, it does look like we have Jay also in subbing now for the Blue Gators, but it does not matter as the Vipers find their 2nd goal.
1 for Hawker, 1 for Z Hydra. Now we move into the next kickoff. It looks like they all just kind of went off to the side there. It's kind of a very even kickoff as far as the teams are concerned. No team wanting to put themselves in bad positioning. Now Ava isn't quite going to get that 50-50 that she was looking for. Here goes Hawker, though. Picks up the corner boost, driving it up the field. Going to keep midair, dribbling it. Manages to get it to midfield. Now it's Z-Hydra's turn. Pushes it at least to the corner. And Ava stopping that clear, maintaining side control for the Vipers.
The Vipers have been working on their rotations from the backfield, improving on that throughout to make their defensive plays stronger here. Definitely showing up in this game in particular as we've gone past that 1 minute mark and no goal has been scored just yet by the Blue Gators.
Now Jay trying to push it toward the Vipers' goal. Just a little bit too high of a shot there, but all the Vipers were kind of bunched up in the goal there. So it would have been hard to get it past them anyway. Now the ball's gonna be grounded. And Vipers still managed to steal it away from the Blue Gators, find their third. Great play by Ava. Now she has one goal for each player.
Still got 2.5 minutes on that clock, though, so 3 goals in that time is possible for the Blue Gators to bring this one back. And as they say that, they get one of the 3 that are needed, but I believe Jay there was the one to score that. Yes. I know that goal animation is typically what Jay has.
Well, now Jay is going to try to air dribble it past one, is able to. Z-Hydra trying to stop any sort of push from the Blue Gators. Ava misses it, leaving it wide open. And that is now just a 1-goal game again.
That was 31 seconds to turn this into a 1-goal game. Okay, there might be quite a few more as we see Jay elevate over one of the Vipers players there to get possession of that ball. It does unfortunately go left of the net, and no one's there on the follow-up from the pass back. Fiery trying to play it around 2 members of the Vipers will lose out, though, as Jay and Wi-Fi are forced to rotate back towards their own goal. We have one of the Vipers members elevating to drop the ball in front of the Gators' goal. It does not, though, as it does get saved.
Now, just a bit of a fight between the teams. Look at Hawker there, though. The way he was whooshing in between both of those teammates, faking them out. He gets the goal.
That's a moment where I wish we had those the replay of the goal. Just a little bit of a closer look there. The camera angle was not perfect to show off just how fancy that was. And as we're talking about that, we see Jay score a 2nd goal and the 3rd for the Blue Gators.
Yeah, each goal is just being matched by each team here. Oh, towards the goal again, and we have a tied game at 4 apiece.
Okay, so now it's 0-0. We have just under half of this round left. It is still a best of 3, though, so they got to work that out. Ooh, Hawker got faked out on that kickoff, but thankfully the Vipers still maintaining possession of the ball here. Does look like Wi-Fi read the ball brought down onto the ground well, but they did not get nice possession on it as we see Hawker go for another goal, bringing our score up to 5.
Vipers don't want to be counted out. 2 minutes left. And it is neither are going to get that kickoff, but now it goes in the favor of the Vipers, who are looking for goal 6. Would we just give a little bit more breathing room? Not that it still wouldn't be able to be made up by the Blue Gators, but the Vipers will take whatever they can get right now. Ava, she's going to try to clear, is just facing disruption, though. Can't find it. The ball now, oh no, that's not going to be anywhere near midfield. Jay still corralling it, keeping side control and pressure onto the Vipers. Unable to get the clear there. Z-Hydra trying, stopped. Now Ava trying, demoed. And the Gators are fighting really hard right now to try to tie it up.
Got 1 minute and 16 seconds to do it as we see Jay get a cross-map shot that's going to be dropped down there by, I believe, that was Fiery. Yes, Fiery dropped it down. Does get passed over to Z-Hydra at the mid. One of the Vipers members will get taken out, though, as we have a shot on goal get disrupted by Fiery. Now Jay pushing forward to receive the pass that's going to be taken away anyway by one of the Vipers members.
Now we have just a little less than 1 minute left. This is the type of match that you want to see. Look at Jay bumping into Z-Hydra right now before Z-Hydra can try for the shot on goal. Now I'm going to drive it around the corner, centering it up. And the shot is just enough to be saved by Z-Hydra. Oh, that was just such a clutch save.
We've got Jay trying to play it around one member of the Vipers, but they do lose their... Oh, what? What? Stealing it off the bring down. Oh, that was dirty. I mean, yes, that's what you do, but still not something you like to have done to you. 22 seconds, 5 goals decided. This is probably one of the highest goal-scoring games we've seen in a hot minute here at the Esports Tower. It's fun and exciting. It just demonstrates the pace of this match and the skill level of everyone involved here. So we see Jay pass the ball over to Wi-Fi. Clock's ticking down to that 5-second mark. We're probably going to go into an overtime as Jay just throws their car into one of the Vipers players there to prevent them from getting a nice touch.
All right, here we go. Overtime, golden goal. The first one in wins. And now Ava has the opportunity. Is actually going to open it up, but Fiery was waiting right there. Was not going to allow that goal to be scored. Now Ava's stopping it yet again. To stop the clear, Jay's going to try to set it up for Fiery to contest there. Does win that 50-50 and is now going to try to keep their side control going. Not if Ava has anything to say about it. They are really fighting for side control. Really tough here.
The Gators left their net open for like 5 seconds, and I had a minor heart attack here over in the Colorcasters area. Please don't do that. And Jay comes in, finding that 6th goal for the Blue Gators to allow them to win our first round.
Well, overall, this is kind of what we want to see. It really is similar to the Red Gators. I've been told the Blue Gators have really been working on their hesitation in defensive play. I don't think hesitation is a word you'd want to use for that last match at all.
The pace of that last entire game was not one of hesitation. That was, I'm putting my pedal to the floor and possibly threw my car to the ground.
Well, I don't want to waste another moment in this match. We have to see what happens. The Vipers need to tie it up to be able to drive it to a Game 3. Blue Gators on a match point. Speaking of the Blue Gators, the coaches have told us that Fiery from the Blue Gators has a unique attention to detail in game and focuses a lot of his energy on positioning. And so we'll see how that works out as Hawker from the Vipers, unable to score it there. That was actually Fiery.
Nice job, Fiery. We do have Climb 1 has reconnected, so Jay has rotated back out to allow them to play. We'll see if that affects the team dynamic here a little bit. Fiery playing it up off that back corner. It's right in front of their goal, not a situation they want to be in. Ava comes in and tries to get a shot on goal. She unfortunately cannot find it. But the follow-up there from, I believe that was Hawker. Yes, we'll find the first goal for the Vipers, bringing us tied 1-1 both sides.
Oh, and looking to fake them out off of the kickoff. The Blue Gators definitively win that one, earning them some early side control, but here goes Ava. She's going to pass over to Z Hydra. Now setting it up just up to the right of the goal. Can they follow up? They can, but it was deflected by the Blue Gators. They're going to do another follow-up. Ava with the second goal. She drives them into the lead.
Wi-Fi, your Wi-Fi is not being a friend right now.
Which isn't good because Wi-Fi has been working with Fiery to play off of each other in the game more. We've been seeing their improvements with that style, but if they're having connection issues, then you can't necessarily work together as a team.
Wi-Fi, I think it's time to use Ethernet.
Change your gamer tag to Ethernet.
Yes, please. And right now, it does look like Fiery gets a nice touch off on the ball. It's a shot on goal, but the crossbar, that's no one's friend, will save it for the Vipers as Z Hydra tries to battle out Fiery there for the ball. Z Hydra does choose to rotate back. We've got Climb 1 coming in to keep the ball alive here, and we do have the Gators players rotating back to make sure that no one's leaving that goal wide open.
Now the ball, a lot of altitude. Both teams are going to wait for it to settle down just a little, and they're all bunched up kind of around the ball, and a shot on goal there from the Vipers. We're trying to extend their lead, but weren't going to find it there. So now they're going to have to look for it clear as Fiery looks to make the play there. Is able to play it around one. He's going to run into Hawker here, but plays it around there. Ava is going to be disrupted there. Look at that disruption from the Blue Gators. I like what I'm seeing from them.
I mean, I asked for it, and they've delivered thus far. Let's see if they can keep it up, though. As we see Fiery here play the ball, take it off that corner, trying to get it spiked up for a teammate for a follow-up. Then no one's there. It is initially missed by one of the Vipers players, but it is eventually... Oh, my, I can't even read the names. They're moving so fast right now. It was grabbed by one of the Vipers players nonetheless. The ball gets dropped down right in front of the Gators' goal, but turned away to the side.
Now Hawker. No, it's going to be Hydra who sees the opportunity and pushes the Vipers to a 2-goal lead. We're now back with 1 goal for each player here.
We've still got a little over 2 minutes and 30 seconds left, so it's over half of the round still left. The Gators can bring this one back. They just need to focus on making sure they're not overcommitting and overstaying. Ava rotating back as Z Hydra rotates back as well. The Blue Gators goal has 2 defenders. Ava's waiting in the wings to make sure that there isn't an easy clear. Z Hydra plays it around one of the Blue Gators and still has it despite the best efforts. Ava spikes the ball over towards the side very high, though. They're trying to regain possession here. It does go high again, so it allows Fiery to get it, but Z Hydra comes in, stops it from going across the midfield. They are going to play it back, though.
Ooh, look at Ava there, stopping that clear. Now opening it up for the Vipers to maybe score another goal, but it gets away from them. All right, there goes Wi-Fi, unable to get a clear there. Ava's going to try to air dribble it, isn't able to. Now it's over to Hawker. Is he going to get played around? No, what a nice kind of backward flick there to stop any sort of momentum. They're maintaining really good side control, the Vipers.
Ava and Z Hydra will double commit for that shot on goal, though, but it doesn't matter as the follow-up is oh, I thought that was going to go in. Wi-Fi barely saved it. I think Gravity saved it a little bit too. Z Hydra gets a shot. It's going to be spiked high for a centering pass there for Hawker. But before Hawker can touch it, Climb One comes in, stealing it away. Now the Gators turning this one around. Ava elevates, sending it over towards the side to Z Hydra. Once again, it is volleyed back over by the Gators, but unfortunately in that same moment they get demoed.
Now we have 1 minute left. It isn't out of the range for the possibility of the Blue Gators. If they were able to tie it up and then take the lead, they would end this match. This is the Vipers' opportunity to drive it to the final game number 3. Here we go. Blue Gators, this is a very crucial offense for them. Can they get the goal they need to right now? And they are going to get it. It's still in the realm for them.
Got 34 seconds to score a goal or 2 goals. However, the Vipers still have that 1 goal lead. This could go either way, but these next 10 seconds are going to be the deciding factor.
Ooh, off the backboard there, but no follow-up from the Blue Gators. They rotated up too far, and the Vipers are going to punish them for it. Now Ava with another shot on goal. They just managed to get back there in time to save it. Now we have 15 seconds left. This is do or die for the Blue Gators right now. Can they get their goal? It goes off to the side. They're not going to find it there. Now here we go again, trying to drive it around the corner, but Ava is going to stop it. Fiery misses, is going to leave it up for his teammate, but it hits the ground and ends it. And whew, it is another 1-goal game. Very competitive. Now we just go to the final.
All right, so having Climb One rotate back in definitely slowed the pace down a little bit there. There was not nearly as many goals scored as the last game, which I'm not going to complain about because that high pace of a game does mentally exhaust your casters and yourselves the entire time that you're playing, just a heads up. But there was quite a few double commits coming out from both sides still. I really want to see that cleaned up during this last game.
Well, I can see why Climb One was rotated back in. You know, Jay is usually just kind of a coaching staff who just kind of fills in roster spots where they are needed. So you do want your normal roster as much as you can.
Yes.
You don't want to get boosted, so to speak. You know, you want to improve your own skills and skill sets here. We're all right. We heading into the final match here. Vipers versus the Blue Gators. Whoever wins this will cement themselves as a very nice position for the cup stage, which will be next week. Z Hydra is going to be the first one to get a goal there. Not even 20 seconds into the match, but it has been back and forth, so I'm sure the Blue Gators will find a goal to be able to tie it up.
The kickoff went in favor of the Blue Gators with Wi-Fi winning it out against Ava. They do still have side control here, and
Yeah?
I honestly thought Hawker was in position to stop that, but they might have just been a little bit too far back in the goal, which is unfortunate.
Now there goes Z Hydra off to the side. It's going to be pushed back. Ava's waiting for it. He's able to get a good hit on it. There's Z Hydra there. Nice. Ball has a lot of altitude, though. I'd have to wait for it to settle.
All 3 members of the Blue Gators stacked up in the goal. Not something you really want to be seeing, as you need those open passing lanes. and distance to get a
Yeah,
good clear here to capitalize on.
They are bunched.
Yes, it's okay to all be playing defensively, but not all of you in the same spot defensively, as we do see Hawker drag the ball down to the ground. They have Z Hydra at the mid, but it does look like Fiery will get possession with Wi-Fi coming up on their wing to take it away and bring it up past that midfield stripe mark, but it doesn't matter. They left the goal open. There's a shot, and it does hit that crossbar. Even the fault from Z Hydra will go far to the side of the net.
There go the Vipers again. That shot on goal is going to be stopped by Fiery, but there's a follow-up there stopped by Wi-Fi. Now here's the next follow-up from Ava, again saved by Fiery. Great defense from the Vipers, but great defense from the Blue Gators, excuse me, but the Vipers have been so consistent in their shots on goal for this round.
It really seems like the Gators are going for we're just waiting for the perfect, ideal opportunity to score a goal. We're tied right now. We're not going to let you get the advantage here. Ava and Z Hydra will double commit on that ball. One of them will get demoed, though. The Blue Gators trying to turn this around. Hawker takes the ball back, passes it to Z Hydra. It ends up getting volleyed over cross towards the Blue Gators side of the field. All three members yet again here bunched up near the goal. Wi-Fi trying to rotate into position, as now we've got the Blue Gators almost having a goal-scoring opportunity. All three of them, though, pushed pretty far forward.
Now Fiery trying to line it up for a goal. It's going to get demoed there right as he was trying to line it up for the other teammates. That completely disrupts the offensive push from the Blue Gators, allowing Ava and Hawker to clear it way back over toward the Blue Gators goal, but they might have, oh, okay, I thought their goal was left open there, but no, Z Hydra was there. I was just panicking a little.
I understand, I was panicking quietly.
Well, here goes another attempt from the Vipers. They want to get in a lead here. And look at Z Hydra shot on goal, saved by Fiery. It's pushed off to the side. Looks like Ava's going to go back, leave it for Hawker. She picks up a little bit more boost. Ooh, now this good opportunity here as Fiery misses it, but Ava whiffs as well. And that leaves it wide open for the Blue Gators to clear. As well as some snazzy, look at this. That's some good dribbling.
Fancy tire work happening there. Nice pass over to one of their teammates. Unfortunately, Climb 1 did not rotate to the mid just in time. Wi-Fi tries to send it back. The net's wide open, though. Oh, barely hits that corner where the crossbars meet with the ground, preventing it from going in. We've got just under 90 seconds left. It's still tied 1-aside. Both teams looking for that insurance goal to bring them up by 1 and prevent the overtime from happening, but it might just happen with how both of them are playing right now. Hawker, though, tells me, Nerdy, no, you're wrong. I'm going to bring my goal to my team with a minute left on the clock, but that's still plenty of time for the Blue Gators to find one for themselves.
Yeah, unfortunately for the Blue Gators, they just left an open going off of this. Whoa, that was some really insane kind of pinball action there. They didn't get a goal there, but they sure caught the Blue Gators off guard. And now the Blue Gators are just sort of fumbling. They're all bunched up, not quite knowing what to do after that very quick attack there. Ava's going to stop their attempted clear and now moves in again for the goal. She puts them to a 2-goal lead.
She was her shot and her follow-up. And did you see that ping she had for a moment? It was like 120. She still did it. Nicely done, Ava.
All right, Ava goes again here. Going to leave it for Z Hydra. Didn't pick it up, so Ava's going to keep the play going. Gets demoed there, though, so he's going to have to respawn. But Hawker's going to keep the Blue Gators from getting a good play on that demo, enough for Ava to respawn and get boost.
We have Climb 1 get taken out by Z Hydra as they're trying to go get possession of that ball. Fiery kind of come up as well, take it away from Z Hydra. They do get pushed around just enough for Z Hydra to maintain possession and Hawker to come in for the follow-up to bring their goal scores up to 4 with 19 seconds left. Blue Gators, I do not foresee you being able to close that gap in 19 seconds, but you might be able to score 1 just to make the gap a little smaller.
Yeah, I think that was the final dagger in the heart, if you will, for the Vipers, ending it right there. And we saw a demo right in front of the goal. It's not going to make that much of a difference, just some final explosions of celebration, if you will, for the Vipers. They have won this very tough fight and are going to end their night tonight with a well-earned win. 2 to run there. The Viper roster looked great the last 2 weeks and had another great group stage this week. The team is really starting to show what you do with a team who is committed to each other and improving. Alrighty, if you wanted one more final reminder, if you want to be seen by expert college recruiters, talk directly to esports industry insiders like pro athletes, team general managers, and game producers, then you should join the club. Esports Tower players get insider access to industry insights, and with our featured Rumbles, recruiters are taking notice too. It's a great way to score exposure if you're looking to start your path to pro or land a collegiate scholarship. Well, now is the time where we reflect back on everything and nominate our picks for the ICCU Player of the Game. And I would say Ava she's really in the running right now. She made some really great plays, was able to stop a lot of clears, and like you said, kind of was her own follow-up on many occasions.
Yeah, but I actually am leaning towards the Hydra here because they had a lot of assistance from Ava, but they ultimately scored a lot of goals, as did Hawker. I think we're kind of split 30-30-30 here right now across all of the Vipers team members, just because, might be a little bit because we saw them the most this evening. However, their team coordination was very strong, and they all performed very well. But my vote, I guess, is going to go to Z Hydra.
Well, let's see who the player of the game is going to be awarded to. It is, in fact, Z Hydra there who won it. The ICCU Player of the Game is brought to you by Idaho Central Credit Union, who believes a great player makes a team more successful, just like Idaho Central's helping members achieve financial success. Z Hydra is your Idaho Central Credit Union Player of the Game for tonight.
Congratulations, Z Hydra. And anyone watching know that we only get to make suggestions. It's not us that ultimately decide. I just got lucky for once.
I mean, all three members, like you said, it's all three members of the Vipers who did so much to get the win.
Teamwork makes the dream work, as they do say.
Yes, and despite many obstacles, pain involved. This was the, despite some high pain rates, they managed to pull off some very impressive plays. I was so surprised that didn't really go. And you could see they had the Blue Gators just kind of on the back fence there. Everyone was just kind of stunned with what transpired there. But anyways, we prepare to close out tonight. Do you have any final big takeaways?
I do, and it goes to the coaches. Start focusing more on stopping your team from overcommitting and double committing, please. It's just happening too much. I know that they know better. You just got to find a way to drill it into them that they need to stop.
Well, congratulations to all the teams in the group stage for a great showing and some entertaining games. We'll be back next week with the Cup games on Wednesday night at 6 p.m. Eastern Time to see who our top teams of the week will be. But we'll close you out with the top 5 presented by the Idaho Army National Guard, who invites you to take your critical thinking skills into real time. More than 10 jobs offering a $20,000 bonus and your degree of choice paid for. Idaho Army National Guard is one of the best teams to join there. Reach out to them at Twitch at iGuard Gaming. That's going to do it for us for Esports Tower Rocket League. But if you're joining us through the Boise State Twitch page, then stay tuned because we have more coming your way tonight. I do believe it's going to be a Valorant match, so you're not going to want to miss that. For now, though, enjoy your top 5 plays of the game for Esports Tower Rocket League. Now it heads back. Mammoths have to reposition to mount a defense here. There goes Ava around the corner, looking, gets bumped into there by Crayon. Now the follow-up again from Z Hydra is going to find it. Just wasn't at a great goal there for it. Looked like Jorge there wasn't able to. It definitely seemed like, even though that was a goal, it wasn't quite the most mechanically pretty goal. But I'm sure the Mammoths won't be complaining too much right now. They just need to focus on how can their gameplay be good in the future. Z Hydra leaving it out, leaving it up for Hawker. Blue Gators definitively win that one, earning them some early side control. But here goes Ava. She's going to pass over to Z Hydra. Now setting it up just up to the right of the goal. Can they follow up? They can, but it was deflected by the Blue Gators. They're going to do another follow-up. Ava with the second goal. She drives them into the lead.
Wi-Fi, your Wi-Fi is not a lovely thing for my eyes and brain to have to work out. Are looking to try and get it clear here. Ava staying by the goal. She's making sure it's not easily scored on. Unfortunately, she will miss that ball right there, but Z Hydra will help them out just a little bit. Oh, it does look like we have Jay also in subbing now for the Blue Gators, but it does not matter as the Vipers find their second goal. Gators, no one was really going for the ball. They all just decided to go get boost. Thankfully, no one scored off of it, so it's been about 30 seconds since that happened. I believe that's Toke, I'm going to say is their name. I can't really read it from this angle. Had a nice opportunity to get a shot on goal. Unfortunately, the elevation from one of their teammates still cannot prevent the Mammoths from finding the back of the net.
Yeah, it looks like.